Peace and love, family. Peace and love, family. Get right with the Most High and the Messiah, man. Listen, when I was growing up here, it was a different time, a different place, a different world to me, from what I see from now. Either A, you're living, or B, you existing. Which one you doing? I choose to live, not to exist. That's just me. All right? What you do is what you do. But listen, it's just people don't recognize this country no more. We just have to be honest, all right? We won't get into it.
Yeah, truth be told, they ain't ready for this heat. Peel the layers back on every fake facade. They building narratives, we see right through the fraud. I'm the signal cutting through the digital static. My feed is undisputed facts, my flow is cinematic. We expose the truth be told, yeah, the truth be told. Watch the algorithm break as we make it go viral.
All right, family, let's get into it. Let's make it do what it do. Another one. Like I said, if you see me with the same hoodies, because I record all these in one day, and then I put them out. Okay? So, listen. I hope and pray that y'all listen to some of these people. Okay? Well, regardless of what's going to happen, it's written. What's going to happen is written. But do what you can to make sure you and your family good. All right?
The burnout, man. I just see it on everybody's faces. You can't talk to nobody. Nobody at work wants to have a conversation about what's going on in the world. And then you go to a gas station or grocery store and you just see people. It's like zombies. It's like everybody's under a spell. Just burnt out, oblivious to what's going on. I mean, every freaking day it's breaking news. It's got to the point where we've taken our kids out and homeschooled them, moved back to our property, learn how to homestead, grow our own food, prepare for the end of the world. We were called crazy for that. I mean, can you not see the signs written on the wall?
I seen it. A lot of people don't see it right now. They're still putting themselves in debt. You know that some people ain't even paying their debt. You know what I mean? So, man, listen. If you can't see it, don't be left behind. That's what I'm going to tell you. Open your eyes and look at it.
This thing that we're doing right now, this system that we've lived our whole life, it's unsustainable, people. It's not going to last forever. And we're almost $40 trillion in debt. It's going to be some hard times coming. And we're going to have to get uncomfortable. And I just hope everybody wakes up to it. Gets a little bit ahead before it happens.
The hard truth that not a lot of people.
Oh, man. The type of person I like to talk to. The type of person I like to talk to. It's going to get rough. Listen to these people.
People want to talk about right now is that in this here economy, the middle class no longer holds the weight that it used to. So they look good on paper, right? They look stable on paper because they got the good job, they got the homes, they got the benefits. But in real life, they are literally one emergency away from financial chaos. And it's not because they're irresponsible with their money, y'all, but it's because a lot of the middle class was built on debt, not stability. So what happens if there's a medical emergency? What happens if someone loses their job? I can tell you from seeing it firsthand, there is a lot of panic.
Genuinely.
Yes, ma'am. That's why whatever debt you have, if you can take care of it, stack some bread, flip your money, and all that. Because it's going to happen. And I'm glad that so many people are opening their eyes and so many people are pushing content for people to open their eyes. I'm so glad about it. For real. I'm happy that people are speaking out.
Terrifying how short of a time frame people actually think in. There's so many people that I'm saying, I'm 32, right? I'll be 32 this year. And there's so many people that are my age that have zero in checking, zero in savings, no 401k. or maybe they have a few $100 in their savings, right? People are thinking that right now is a bad time. Right now in this country, it's a bad time. 10 years from now, when you're starting to get into your 40s and you're still in the same position that you're in, will things be better then? 20 years from now, when you are supposed to be retiring, even though they keep pushing the federal retirement age, what's it going to be like in this country? Have you thought about it? I have existential dread thinking about how many people that are my age right now that aren't going to be retired. Are we going to be working till our fingers are bloody, bruised, broken? My parents aren't going to be able to retire. My parents, I'm lucky that I'm in a position where hopefully I can take care of them when they get to that time. But it's terrifying to think about. It is. Our government isn't even thinking that far into the future, it feels like. They're thinking about every single administration that's there. They think maybe in 10-year time frames. The dynasty thinks in millennias. They're like, oh, where will we be in 1,000 years? Where will we be in 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years? Well, let's set up our future for that shit. Maybe I'm just pulling the dynasty out of my ass. But still, like, we need to think further out and pick our politicians not based off of how you feel right now. Think about how you want to feel 20 years from now. That's the politician that you should be supporting.
Well, I don't want to get into the politics, but what I will tell you is you have wishful thinking 10 years from now. Wishful thinking. I'm thinking 2028. I'm thinking a year and some change from now, not 20 years from now. But hopefully I'm wrong, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But it doesn't look like I'm too wrong. I'll tell you that. Because of the industries that I'm in. And stuff that I'm privy to that you're not. But I hope I'm wrong.
With no commentary, here are average monthly costs for people who live in the United States. We're going to start with cars. Used car payment, on average, $550 a month. New car payment, $780 a month. Average insurance across the country, $210 a month. And average gas per driver, $210 a month.
$500 something per month for a used car? That's crazy. $700 and something for a new car? That's crazy. I don't put my business out there. But the new cars that I got, they ain't no 700. They ain't no 700. No. Way more than that, but I make money off them cars. Okay? I don't rent them out. None of that. No. But they are used to transport people around, but they don't get rented out like rental cars and stuff like that. But I do have drivers and stuff like that drive people around that require security and stuff like that.
That means if you are the average used car driver, you are spending $970 a month on your vehicle. And if you're the average new car driver, you're spending $1,200 a month on your vehicle. These costs do not include maintenance, tires, oil changes, anything. Moving on. Average rent in the United States, $1,700 a month. Average mortgage, $2,340 a month. Average electric bill, $150. Average water sewer, $90. Average internet, $80. And if your home has gas, the average is $65 a month. Phone bill. Average US phone bill, $150 a month. Healthcare costs, I was trying to find a number that would maybe include insured and uninsured people, but the most solid number I could find, the average for unsubsidized premiums is $480 a month, and then $125 miscellaneous health care costs, so anything outside of your premium. So you're at $605 for healthcare per month on average. Groceries, on average for a single person, $350 a month. If you've got kids, average daycare costs across the country for one child, $1,300 a month. If you've got a pet, you're somewhere between $50 and $300 for veterinary care, insurance, and food per month. I'm going to use the number $150 in the examples that I will list. Mind you, the average US salary is $67,000. The median US salary is $45,000. Median is sometimes seen as a better metric for this because it excludes outliers better. And then median family income in the United States is $83,000 and average family income is $139,000. Mind you, the average tax burden, which is, I think it might only be federal taxes, but that's besides the point, we'll just roll with it, is about 15%, and that's around $13,890 per taxpayer. The average student loan payment is $436, and the average credit card payment is $272 a month. Now, still no commentary, just adding these numbers up in two different scenarios. One being a used car driver who rents their home and has one pet, and again, the pet number that I'm using is 150. They would need $69,000 per year before taxes are taken out just to survive with no savings. I'm using 15%, so they would need $60,000 after taxes. Moving on. A new car driver who owns their home and again has one pet, using the number 150 for that, would need $81,944,000 before taxes were taken out, and that includes zero savings.
Dude, that's ridiculous. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Hey, man, get with like-minded people. I'm going to stress this so much. Get with like-minded people, put your money together. You can buy land for cheap. Don't get it twisted. You can. You can buy land. Good, decent land. You know what I mean? You could, not all soil you can grow on and stuff like that, but get with like-minded people, man. Put your money together, start a homestead and stuff like that, and build with people. I'm telling you, because it's going to get ugly.
I need to have a vent session for a second about the state of affairs in this country. So I have two adult children. One is 18 going on 19 and the other one is 21. My 18-year-old is working currently as an HVAC apprentice and working on getting certified, but he's making $16 an hour, which I live in a small to mid-sized Missouri town, so that's pretty typical around here. Wages are, low compared to a lot of places, but so is the cost of living. But he would also not like to be living at home with mom forever. He's more of an independent, autonomous person, so apartment living is not for him at all. He wants a place where he can have his truck and his dirt bikes and be able to work on motors and have the freedom to do what he wants with the place and also be able to have all of his stuff. And at this point, honestly, renting a house would cost more than a mortgage payment anyway, but he's been looking for houses and just trying to figure out what he can afford and what he can do. And he found this place that was only $125,000, which is dirt cheap around here. That just doesn't exist anymore, but it had no basement. It was on a slab foundation, I think, and probably needed some work, which he is naturally talented at that stuff. He works in HVAC. He's very mechanically inclined. He can do this stuff. So he's not afraid of a fixer-upper. Found out that the main reason it was priced so cheap is because it was in a flood zone. So it was a no anyway. But keep in mind, $125,000 house in this economy. And when we looked up to see if he did a 5% down payment on this thing with, your insurance and PMI and taxes and everything, his payment would still be $1,100 a month for a cheap piece of crap house. And just the look of absolute dread on his face when he realized how completely unaffordable and unattainable it is for him to be able to buy a house and live on his own. Now, my oldest son just turned 21. He's been waiting to turn 21 because he wants to get into the cannabis industry. And it's just like the alcohol industry, where if you want to be a brewer or a bartender, you have to be 21 in order to do it. So this past week, Thursday, he interviewed for a job with a grower. And just a couple of days ago, he was offered the position and officially accepted it. And in that time, less than a week, we decided to start a war with Iran. And so when he interviewed for the job, gas prices were around $2.50 a gallon where I'm at, and now they are already at $3 a gallon and climbing. So just in the time between when he interviewed for this job and when he accepted this job, Gas prices have gone up 50 cents a gallon, and they're not done climbing yet. And this is an issue because this job, there's a lot of dispensaries here in town where if he had, ended up there, he'd probably be a little bit better off. But this was the job opening that was available at the time for him to get into the industry. And it is a farm, which is 30 miles up the interstate from where we live. So now he is going to be driving one way to work 30 miles at a time when gas prices are going through the roof, because we decided it was a good idea to start a completely unwarranted, unjustified, and unnecessary war with Iran. And I'm now sitting here thinking about my own situation, where my own currently hourly wage is, and considering if I was their age, if I was just starting out. So thinking about buying the same house that I live in right now at its current value, at current interest rates, with the same % down payment that I paid for this house back in 2017. And I realized that my payment would be double what it currently is. And I, as a 40-year-old woman who has been working for 24 years of my life, could not afford this place on my own. Like at 40 years old, I would need a roommate in order to live in this very modest, like 1,300 square foot, 1968 ranch style home. Like it's not a fancy house by any stretch. It's what most people would consider to be essentially a starter home by today's standards. And I could not afford it on my own on my current wages. So my question is, how the hell are we expecting these young kids to do it?
Well, they're expecting them to do it because they're expecting them to be a slave to the system. That's what I don't want to say. So, yeah, let's get into the next one. Let's get into this one.
Y'all, I'm sitting here looking at this check and trying to figure out the taxes on it, how much money I'm going to owe. And I realized that about 25% of this money goes to Uncle Sam. If you remember math in school, that's 1/4, 1/4, which means that if a year has 12 months, 1/4 or 1/4 of that year is 3 months. That means that for the first 3 months of the year, every year, I'm working just to pay Uncle Sam. We are all working just to pay Uncle Sam.
You just figured that out? Well, it depends how you got your business structure. You'd be paying less than that, and then you pay yourself a lower wage. And you won't pay as much. Or, let me give you food for thought for those of you that have digital products or digital merchandise. You can live in Puerto Rico for 6 months and 1 day and pay a 5% tax. And if you want to come back here for 5 months and 30 days, you don't have to pay the taxes here. For FYI.
We don't start making money really until about April. Now, most people get a W-2, the W-2 worker, so you get the pay stub and you see all the stuff. They just spread that money out over time, but if you actually added it all up, you would realize that January through March, roughly, you working to pay Uncle Sam. You don't make nan dime until April. That should be enough to make us sick. That should be enough to make us riot in the street. So right now, what's today? Today is February 17th. We ain't actually earning no money right now, contrary to what we might think. If you really look at how much money is going out, we're not even earning no money right now.
Do you want to know why Americans are struggling? Probably because the price of groceries are insane. I just spent $73 on essentially one meal and a couple of extra things. I'll show you. Hold on. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I decided to make spaghetti because I don't know what to
You got more bags than what I thought you was going to have, though. I'm not going to lie.
make, and it's a crowd pleaser. Everybody likes it. So I got a salad kit, 3 jars of off-brand spaghetti sauce. I'm making spaghetti for 9 people, and so that's why I get 3 jars. I decided to get the loaf of garlic bread because it was like $2, so it was cheap, but I did get 2 of them because 9 people. This hamburger alone cost like $20 for 3 pounds of hamburger. I do like to grate my own cheese, so I got a pound of mozzarella, and I got a wedge of Parmesan, Angel Hair off-brand spaghetti noodles. And for a sweet treat for my kids, I wanted to make no-bake cookies for after dinner for dessert. So I got some instant oats. We are low on sugar, so I did go ahead and buy a thing of sugar. I did buy the big thing of peanut butter because the one I normally buy is $4.99, and it's 40 ounces. This is 64 ounces, and it was on sale for $5.49. So of course I got the bigger one, but it seemed like the smart thing to do. So I got some off-brand cocoa to make the cookies. Beyond what I got for dinner and what I got to make dessert, the only extras I bought these Lunchables for their lunches because they were 4 for $5. Oh, I did buy some sticks of butter because I do need those for the cookies also, and we don't have any. And then we are also out of eggs, so I bought an 18-pack of eggs. Do this right here, $73, $73.02. Most of it's store brand. I also had an employee discount, and it was still $73.
That's crazy. $30 for 3 pounds of ground beef.
That's insane. No wonder everybody's struggling.
A new survey says most Americans now see the middle class as out of reach. The New York Times Siena poll found that 2/3 of voters think a middle class lifestyle is unattainable for most people. That includes home ownership, stable employment, and a disposable income for leisure. 77% also say it's harder to achieve a middle class lifestyle than a generation ago. Those polled say they do not feel confident in their ability to pay for retirement, housing, and health care. Pew Research defines middle class as 2/3 of the median household income. Here in California, that comes out to an annual income of roughly $63,000 to $190,000.
Well, let me tell you the math that I come up with. I don't believe there's a middle class. I believe it's the less fortunate, the more less fortunate, on top of that, then just above less fortunate, just above more than less fortunate, and then the elites. I don't believe there's a middle class. I think that's just something to make you think that exists, to me. But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? So, hey, man. Peace and love, family, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Get right with the Most High and the Messiah. Get with like-minded people. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Hopefully just open your eyes to a lot of things. And I hope you and your family's well. You know what I mean? Try to get through it while you still can so that you and your family be straight. All right? Peace and love.